Christopherson here again with another sort of first listen review. And what I mean by that is this is being released this week or possibly last week, depending on which place you go to order it. It's called The Beat Sessions by Iron Maiden. And the reason I say sorta is because it's one of these record labels, Sutra Records, another one I'm just not familiar with, smaller label, that's basically taken something that's already out there, put another label on it, and album cover and different title, and released it again. With that being said, it's still pretty cool. If you don't have this already, it was released actually the last time I know of. It was back in 2018. It was just called Live at the Beat Club. And basically what it was back when they still had Paul Di'Anno on vocals, and it also features Clive Burr, Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, and Steve Harris on the band at this point in time. Way back they did a show called it was in England, I think it was, Germany, Germany I believe it was. I'm getting my stuff messed up, but definitely Germany. So actually right here, January 22nd 1981 is when they did this show. It was called the Beat Club TV show, and I have to pull out my old copy here, and they did a live broadcast of it, and there was a couple little things that went wrong with it, and they kind of did a couple double takes on this, but it's kind of funny hearing that and how they handled it and all that fun stuff. But if you're a fan of this era of the band or just Iron Maiden in general, this is a really cool thing to own. It's like a live concert without like all the screaming and stuff going on. Obviously it was a little small little audience TV show, but they do a ton of cool stuff, and they're on fire on this album. They're playing like top notch in my book. I really like this era of the band. I mean, I like every era of the band almost, and I was always really into the early stuff. I actually came to know Iron Maiden when they came out with Run to the Hills. It was the first thing I ever heard in Number of the Beast, but at that point in time there wasn't anything else out except the first two albums. So when I went back and got them, not knowing that, I didn't know much about music at this point in time, I was just really getting into music. I didn't know that they had a different singer, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a little bit more raw and edgy. So I kind of got all that stuff early on, and then I've just followed them since then, and I really like this era of the band, like I'm saying, and they do a ton of songs on here. There's 15 songs, but 2 of them they redid, so a total of 13 altogether, but they pretty much cover everything. I mean, they do a little intro. It's called the Ides of March, which isn't much of anything. It's kind of funny. They do the intro and then they stop, and then they go into Prowler. They don't like continue it into the song, which I thought was kind of funny actually. But and in the middle of Remember Tomorrow, I guess the power went out. From what I understand, there was just a issue with the power. They're running too much through the system. They're sharing the lights or the power or something with the main line. It blew something, and they had to restart all over again. But they had handled it well, and they didn't edit any of that stuff out, which I thought was kind of cool. And then at the end of it, they did another version of Sanctuary, which I didn't see anything wrong with the first take they did of it, but you get 2 versions of that, and they're both good to me. I don't know, it sounded fine. I didn't hear anything that sounded like it needed redone, but for whatever reason they thought they needed to. But I mean, they cover everything on here. Like I just said those 2, but they got Charlotte the Harlot, Wrathchild, Transylvania, Running Free, Innocent Exile, Killers, Another Life, Fan of the Opera, and then they're supposed to end with the song Iron Maiden, but then of course they just did that little extra one at the end, and they just leave all the chatter in there and everything, and it was just kind of fun listening to it again. And it's one of those albums that when you hear it, you just want to break out some more Iron Maiden. So that's probably what I'm going to do the rest of the day. If anybody else out there has heard this or is thinking about getting it or wants to make anything added to it that I may have left out, as always, feel free to comment down below, and like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. But like I always say, just talking about the music and getting people out there checking the stuff out is keeping the music alive. That's kind of like what I'm doing this all for. So whatever comment you want to make about anything, at least we're talking about it, good or bad, I guess. We're going to have the bad with the goods, but at least we're talking about the bands and keeping the music alive, and that's kind of what it's all about. So like, share, subscribe, and all the fun stuff like I always ask for, and we'll talk to you in the next one. See you.